student. Today we will be learning next chapter, that is Sources of History, Standard 6. Learning objective of this module. So in this module we will be learning about the study of various types of historical sources and its importance in the construction of history. We will be covering the point: how do we study past with the help of the ancient history? What do archaeologists mean? What kind of work they do? What are their procedure? And why it is important to know about archaeologists? We will be covering the points such as sources of ancient history. It is important to know historical sources because they are the foundation to understand a particular era back in time. They help us to gain knowledge about important events, invention, culture, civilization, and many other aspects about society. They serve as evidence in the construction of history. There are three sources of ancient history. They are the material source, written source, and oral source. In this module, we will be covering material source. Let's begin. Understand where, how, and when we find out about history. What is history, student? History is a proper study of past events. We already learned in the first chapter that history is a coherent account of significant past events. Yes, we can study the recent past through television, newspaper, radio, books, internet, and so on. But student, you must be thinking, how do we study about things that happened before all these things were invented, right? Well, how do we study the past? That's the main question. To study the past, we have to find the things people used to find out how they lived. The houses they live in, the utensils they used, the temples they visited, the weapons they had. These are all good clues to find out about their life. It is necessary to have knowledge of the past and to know history through such sources. It is necessary to have knowledge of the past and to know and understand the present situation. We know of thousands of years from old and ancient buildings, forts, temples, stepwells, and other sites. Yes? Let's take an example to understand in detail. Make a list of things in your house which belong to your grandparents. Collect information about them and learn about their time and era. Student, you may be amazed to know about their belongings. Number of objects used by our ancestors still exists, but now they are modified or changed in technology. For example, if you see coin of your grandparents and of our period, it's totally different. Thus, from these information, we get to know the period of our grandparents' era. How do we study about things that happened before all these things were invented? So, student, the coins used in the past may be important decision that engraved in metal or stone that could tell us more about history. So it's not just lying around for us to pick up the historian, have to go and look for all these things. How do we study past? Some old temples, old buildings, and old cities may have valuable clues too. Certain legendary stories and songs may tell us where to start looking. How we get to know ancient history? Who wrote the history? As you can see on the screen, student, there are coins, folk song picture, houses, material. These are the evidence of an ancient history. But who goes searching for all this stuff? Yes, let's see. For all this stuff, Well, it's an archaeologist. Now, what do archaeologists mean? Archaeologists are people who find clues to the human past. They find a site where humans may have lived long ago, then they had start looking for clues. How do they do? So archaeologists collect whatever they find and take it to their lab and study it carefully. In India, archaeologists find interesting things. They were the cities, Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilization. As you can see on the slide, the two pictures are of cities. They are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Where were these cities or where were these places? Well, students, it's very interesting to know that these places have been buried underground. Yes, exactly. It was buried underground. Now, why it could happen? So, it could have happened due to natural calamities such as earthquake, floods, tsunami, or other reason. Let's move ahead. How do archaeologists work? Archaeologists have to dig very carefully. They don't want anything to break when they dig it up. Now, if you see both the picture, digging like this is known as excavation. So, during excavation, utensils, stone tools, and ancient ornaments are found, which help the archaeologists to know the ancient history of that time. What do archaeologists find? Well, they find things that the people used. Those are called material. That is, material sources of ancient history. So the archaeologists find utensils, jewelry, weapon, building and temples. These tell us about the technology and life of the people. They also find written things on stone plates and metal. There are many written things in temple and cave. To these writing on hard surface known as inscription. They tell us about the different events that have taken place. Some of the inscriptions are on metal, stone, bone, or baked clay. These things last for a long time. They don't get easily destroyed. Sometimes archaeologists find dead human when they are digging. This is very exciting for archaeologists. Then they try to get more information about it. The bones tells them if it is a man or a woman. The teeth tell them the person age. Sometimes they can even find out why the person died. Thus, learn the history. Yes. Now, one more fact about it that archaeologists also found food grains. Food grains, they were buried underground and it was used as an evidence by the archaeologists. They test in their lab. They get to know that the ancient time people used to roast food grain before grinding them. If a few grains got charred while roasting, they were thrown away. And such charred grain can remain intact for very long period. During excavation, such charred grains was recovered. After inspecting in a laboratory, then it came to be known what grain it is. All this gave us information about human activities in the past. Artifacts. Student, we already learned about artifacts. It is an object used by human in day-to-day life. Yes. So one of the artifact is rock painting. Rock painting means painting on big rocks. So ancient people used to paint. That doesn't mean they used to use watercolors, pastel color. They use their arrows, bow to make such kind of painting. You can see in the picture. So these paintings tell us about the life of the people of ancient period. In India, remains of rock painting have been found on the walls of caves. As people could not read and write, so they draw on the rocks or make inscription. Cave painting of India date to prehistoric time. It also found in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh and among many other parts of India. Thus, it gives us information about life of the people of ancient time. Next is pottery. Indus Valley civilization has an ancient tradition of pot making. Now, pottery in Indian subcontinent has an ancient history and is one of the most tangible elements of Indian art. Evidence of pottery has been found during the excavation of Harappan civilization. Until recent time, all the Indian pottery have been earthenware, including terracotta. Handmade pottery like bowl, utensil, vessels in different colors such as red, orange, brown and black was found during excavation on Harappan site. It reveals that the people used to store food grains or fill their water in the pots. Third, ornaments. Ornaments were the sign of wealth and power of ancient India. The Asian Indian art bear the witness of long tradition of the art of jewel. The collection of gold and agate ornaments include objects found at both Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, that is Indus Valley civilization. These ornaments were hidden under the floor in the homes of wealthy merchant or goldsmith. The other ornaments include bangles, choker, long pendant, necklace, rings, earring, hair ornaments and other brooches you can see in the picture. These ornaments were made of gold, silver and bronze and also with bones of animal and terracotta. Next, fourth is sculptures. The art of making two or three dimensional representative forms, especially by carving stones or wood or by casting metal or plasters. Okay. The first sculpture in Indian subcontinent is from Indus Valley civilization and was more widespread tradition of small terracotta figure, mostly of women's, men, dancing girl, animals. But the sculptures were made for long-term survival. Sculptures were made of clay, rock, woods and other metal. Later on different dynasty used the technique of making sculpture and preserving them. The major sculptures were seen in Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. It shows that the women and men used to wear ornaments or how the sculptures were made in such a way that it shows the life of the people of ancient India and thus give us the history. Metal objects. Remains of coins or other jewel or household plates, spoon, utensils gives the information to archaeologists and relate the period of that object. Yes, we have seen that. But ancient Indian depicts lot of metal objects starting from the Iron Age to the Gold Age. Indian experienced lot of metals. Ancient history reveals lot of metal object includes utensil, weapons, ornament, toys, sculpture, etc. The material, that is the metal which is seen, show the prosperity of in the ancient India. It also show the skills and artist work. Metals were also used as seals. Even weapons were made up of metal. Thus show that the society were a trader society or the warrior society. Metal is a material that can be polished or prepared or can be shown in lustrous appearance. So they are malleable. That means they can be hammered into thin sheet. So ancient people used their techniques and skills to make metal objects. That's so interesting to know. Yes, like the same ways, even metals were used to make coins. Let's see the sixth one, that is ancient coins. So coins are a piece of metal, yes, that have been assigned a value and design approved by governing authority. Yes, student, but here coins are legal tender. That means it is used for exchanging. So the history of coins of India has evolved over times. That is buying and selling began with shells and beads being used as money. That is known as barter system. So these use of commodity money paved the way to the barter system. But later on, precious metals were shaped and then designed and marked so that they could be used as legal tender or coins in India. The ancient coin tells a lot about the ruler who issued them. They speak of events that took place, they tell us the name of the ruler. Some coins even tell us which year the ruler was ruling. Coins in India depicts the king, god and other symbols. Currently, we can see a 5 rupees or 10 rupees coin and get to know in which year it was made or who is the ruling governing party. Yes, student, try this activity. Let's move ahead. Next is the structural remain, the other kind of material sources. In that, first is caves. Students, you and me, we all are familiar with caves. Yes? Then why caves is important to know about history? So in India, cave have long regarded as sacred place. The earliest cave used by humans were natural cave, that they occupied or used for variety of purposes, such as shelter or kind of keeping their things inside there. So these gave us evidence that the caves were first occupied and slightly uttered during the Paleolithic and Mesolithic period. Yes, so Indian caves were generally small and dark without natural light. It is the oldest rock cut architecture. Now in India, the oldest rock cut architecture, that is the cave, was found in the Barabar caves in Bihar, which were built around 3rd century BC. There were many rocks painting. As we learn about rock painting, so rock paintings are done on the caves. So many caves have rock painting, sculptures, even sculptures, inscription, the writing, and even many temples were found in Indian caves. There were more than 27 ancient caves in India, which has different story about it. That means there are different history to know about it. Who was living in the cave? What about the climate condition? And therefore, the next structure remain is the stupa. Now, what is stupa? You can see the picture over there, student. Yes, you can. The stupa is a mound-like or hemispherical structure containing relics that is used as a place of meditation. Now, these stupa is Sanchi. The great stupa is in Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh. It is the Indian earliest known stupa dating back from 4th century BCE. While the different sections of the stupa have various symbolic meaning. It is known as one of the oldest Buddhist monument in the country and the largest stupa at the site. It was built by Mauryan Emperor Ashoka and it is used for meditation purpose. The third structural remain is the pillars. Now why we need to learn pillars, students? Is it necessary to know about pillars? You and me, we all are familiar of pillars. Well, we need to know about ancient pillars. Why? Let's see what is pillar first. So a pillar is a vertical structure, tall vertical structure of stone, wood or metal which is used as a support for a building or as a monument. Okay. Now the picture which is seen in the screen, it's of Ashoka pillar. The Ashoka used to write, that is inscript all his uh, day-to-day activities on the pillars. How what welfare activities or religious practice he has done during his time. So Ashoka has an habit of writing everything on the pillars. During that time they doesn't have books or nor pages to write. So these evidence show about the history of the ancient pillars and ancient time. Okay. Next was the houses. Now again here houses. In days also we are having houses. But what is the difference about ancient houses? So the ancient houses, so in ancient times people lived without any kind of shelter. Sometimes they also live in tent or in caves. As it was seen in Neolithic period that people at different times in different places started building their own houses. That is constructed their own houses. Now, the Harappan civilization is marked as one of the earliest evidence of human civilization in India. This civilization can be traced in the ancient Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley cities were one of the first ever to have come into existence and form the basis of civilization, that is the settlement of human being. Okay, so Indus Valley civilization is the first human settlement, that is human civilization. Now the houses were construction in ancient time with mud and leaves of palm trees or the tree branches. They decorate their houses with the flowers and leaves. The roof of their homes were flat and made of wood. Okay. Thus it shows the condition, the prosperity, the way of living of the ancient people. Okay. So these were the structural remains of material sources. Let's see what is material sources. So according to our chapter, what we have learned that material sources are those sources which can be seen and touched, which can also help to gather information and gain knowledge. I hope you understood the chapter. You can refer your textbook to page number 6 of chapter 2, Sources of History. Let's do the evaluation part quickly. Let's move to the evaluation. First question, true or false? Student, you need to give the reason as well whether the answer is true or false. So first one is houses of ancient people were made up of cement and tile. So your answer is false. We have already discussed that the ancient people used to make their houses with mud and tree branches. Yes. Next question. Only women wear ornaments in ancient period. So it's again the answer is false because women and men both wear ornaments and it was shown in the rock painting as well as the evidence shown that the sculptures were made of women and wearing ornaments. Yes. Next, third, ancient people roast their food grain before cooking. Yes, true. The answer is true. We learn that ancient people used to roast, you roast the food grain before cooking. Next, answer the following. First question is explain artifacts. So we have learned in detail that the man uses a variety of things in his day-to-day life known to be as artifacts. Okay. Next, how do archaeologists work? So we learn that archaeologists have to dig very carefully and whatever materials they found, they test in their lab and then they give us the conclusion. Next, what is material source? The things which we touch and which are a source that which is found by the archaeologists are known to be as material source. I hope you understood the chapter very well. Thank you for your cooperation.